Hello and welcome back my fellow friends to a new episode of Kerbal Space Program JNSQ. Okay, so last episode was a huge success. We brought Jebediah back from a low orbit around, well, just moon orbit, and as per our contract we want to rendezvous 2 vessels in orbit around the moon. So today's goal is actually a setup for this. To be a bit more precisely, I've been a bit looking around towards a few things. First of all, here in the R&D, we can't even research any of these new super cool nodes here, since that requires us to upgrade the R&D center. So this is something I'm actually not sure whether to do it right now immediately or after the next mission. Because, like I said, we want to rendezvous 2 vessels in orbit around in orbit around the moon. So, and I've been looking through the contracts here. Actually, I've been just looking on 3 contracts, and this is the one that really caught my attention. If we have a look at this, this contract asks us to build a space station with 1 pilot aboard, supporting 5 Kerbals, antenna, docking port, and can generate power, and put your station in orbit around the moon. And what I kind of plan on doing from this one onwards is throwing the station in orbit around the moon. I'm completing the contract, obviously. With that, I'll check this. We have everything. It won't be a pretty station. It will be just a makeshift space station, honestly, to complete the contract and at the same time complete this contract, because after that we can launch our very first moon mission, moon surface return mission. Okay, we're gonna bring that thing over there, park it, rendezvous with the space station, jump back to the KSC, accept the next contract, which will probably be grab some science data from the surface of the moon, and after having kind of completed that thing, after having completed this space station, not satellite here, space station contract, we can upgrade the R&D facility, which will enable us to transfer fuel, get ourselves some fuel from the space station to go back if we need some more fuel. So that's the idea. So with that being said, and Chief Bottle Washer, okay, brilliant, with that being said and done, this is what I'm gonna do. I obviously already decided to do that. The only other small thing I'm gonna do is buy a additional Kerbal pilot, because we need the pilot that's gonna stick around the moon for all eternity. And now we can launch. Well, we won't launch just yet. Gonna build this space station. So just opening up this one here, having a look at all these requirements, having a facility for 5 Kerbals. Obviously, we're gonna start with the command pod. And we don't have the hitchhiker storage container just yet. Okay, deleting this command pod, let's take a re-entry module. We have 2 Kerbals. Well, space for 2 brave Kerbals. Then we're gonna smack in another command pod, because that looks obviously ridiculous, but it's gonna work just fine. And a crew capsule. And there we go, we have 5 Kerbals. 1, 5, I can't count. 2, 4, 5, there we go. That's already a lot better. As for docking ports, docking port check. Though I do want to have a battery in between, just for battery's sake. Next up, we need power to obviously charge the space station. I would love to just smack a couple of solar panels here on the side, but this is not going to be enough since we have a lot of blind spots like this. And this would not really make the space station useful at all. Period. So now we're going to build a bit around this, and trying to make it look acceptable. It's not going to look pretty like my space stations in my regular playthrough, my regular missions that I usually do. Structural fuselage. Actually, I guess I'm just going to be super utilitarian here. Just going to take, well, that's all the big tanks. Way too big tanks. Just one of those fuel tanks is probably not worth the hassle getting that contraption over there in the first place. Give me another inline small. I guess that would work if we smack these ones on the side as well. Okay, so I think I'm gonna just pause the recording here and come back to you guys once I have something worth showing you, because right now I'm still a bit thinking how to do this one properly, and there's, I think, no point in you sitting around waiting until I'm done with that. So see you guys in just a bit. Okay, so here we are on the launch pad with our new contraption. It looks quite interesting, if I may say so. I've absolutely no clue whether this will be enough fuel to get us where I want us to go. We have here a new pilot Kerbal having its first flight. Let's check this one. We have completed, well, the building requirements on the space station is inside the fairing. You guys will see it in a couple of minutes, I suppose. This is not the content we're gonna care right now, so let's launch this new vehicle. I'm not gonna go for 100% thrust because we have these big, massive kickback boosters, and off we go with the biggest rocket we've built so far. Clean liftoff. Let's do a screenshot here. Maybe this is going to be a thumbnail. I really kind of like the look of this thing. Just a bunch of strapped on boosters and everything together. The only small thing I'm actually considering is, depending on our flight profile, we might actually ditch this stage here first. These 2 or 4 side boosters, liquid side boosters, are asparagus stage, so I think this one is feeding into this one, and the opposite is true on the other side of the craft, and a bit depending on the throttle regime, these two are going to change, but it looks like the SRBs are going to run out first, and this is deliberate, because I am trying to not point the wrong way this time. This is the right way. I've turned, as it seems, the space station, so it's not pressing the D key to go towards the east here. Yeah, we're actually approaching booster separation, and the SRBs are out full throttle on the liquid boosters, and we are continuing to accelerate. Brilliant. I was a bit worried because the thrust to weight ratio at sea level was exactly 0.98. Obviously we are already 15 kilometers up, and we're ditching the next set of boosters. And there they go. So now we're down to the main core and only 2 liquid fuel boosters. But boy oh boy, this was a fast transition. Very fast transition. But I do like the way this rocket still continues to look despite having shed quite a lot of things. Like I said in the very beginning, or at the launch actually, I'm not sure whether this will be enough fuel, since the last time I've played JNSQ, despite it being for you 1 or 2 weeks right now, I think, has been for me like 4 weeks, I think, or so, and I'm trying to record in this week here multiple episodes, because actually the next month and a half is going to be quite heavy on my part. I have a couple of exams and other things that I have to focus on, so I'm trying to pre-record now a couple of episodes, and this is also one of the reasons why in the last, probably for you, the last 1.5, well right now the last couple of weeks at least, have been only 1 episode, like 1 video, not 1 episode, 1 video per week instead of my regular 2 videos, because usually I was trying to have 1 JNSQ video and 1 booster separation and 1 regular Kerbal Space Program video per week. So Wednesday for, let's pitch up, we're not having enough altitude here, and our acceleration is not super great. What was I trying to say? This is actually not going to end up the way I wanted to end up, because we are still, we still need to gain some altitude, and there's the KSP. We still need to gain some altitude, as far as I can remember. We need just under 4,000 meters per second of orbital velocity in low Cuban orbit, and we only have 3,000, well we have 1,500 meters per second of velocity and we have, like I was trying to save use just for the last bit this stage, the next stage here, because we're gonna need most of it for the transfer burn to the man. God darn it, it's not enough. Gonna be short, quite short, I think. 1,000 meters or something like that per second. Okay, let's continue burning. I'm still curious as to how far we can get. Well, definitely gonna get into orbit. That's not really concern, but not with the stage. I wanted to reach orbit. What was I actually talking about? Totally forgot that. Oh yeah, right. I usually tried, or was trying earlier, to have one JNSQ video on Wednesday and one regular Kerbal Space Program mission or video, something like that, on Friday, but right now the schedule has changed to only one video Friday, a bit changing between JNSQ content and regular mission. So yeah. And this is, like I said, because of a few things that are happening or going to happen in the very, very near future in real life, so I have not quite enough time to do everything, or as I want to do everything. Anyhow, long story short, we're anyways not going to get this thing to the man, because we need another 2,000 meters, another 1,000 meters per second of delta V to get into orbit around Kerbin, and then another equal amount to get to the man. And here we have a bunch of space debris flying around. What are we going to do right now? I think we're going to just time accelerate, just continue to burn here until we reach orbit, so that Nine Kerman is gonna have her promotion, gaining the first level of pilot level up, and after that we're going to, actually this thing has nothing to land. Oh no, stop. Are we in an orbit? I think in a very pointing downwards is what we need. So I guess instead of making this a manned space station, this is going to be a Kerbin space station, or our first, I guess, prototype. So we do have to put you into a stable orbit, otherwise you're gonna burn up. Let's put you into 90 kilometer, there we go, 90 kilometer periapsis. I'm gonna extend these two fancy antennas, because that's something we brought along with us. You have a gyroscope here. Okay, reaction wheel actually for that, as a matter of fact. Thermometer, barometer, docking port here. There's actually another docking port down here. So in order to, once we ditch this stage, but we only have 800 meters per second left. Even if I were to be like, okay, alright, let's... Wait, you should actually be cross-feeding here. No. Disable crossfeed, enable crossfeed. Okay, the number of delta V is kind of bugging around, because we are able to use this one, we should actually have more fuel, but I don't really want to use that fuel, and it's not that much. It's like not quite doubling, but almost doubling. So let's say it's going to be almost doubling our delta V as well. So we have 1600 meters per second delta V. That might be enough to get to the man, but not to get into an orbit that is actually useful. And we don't have any parachutes. If I had parachutes, we could have used the re-entry module to get back. So this is actually a failure. Because I in a private save, I would obviously revert. But right now, since it is the, how's it called? Let's play, I guess, for narrative reasons. Let's go with this. For narrative reasons, I'm not going to revert. We're just going to stick it in, leave our Kerman, I think it was. In orbit, just gonna do a couple of adjustments. Let's have a look actually, because my phone turned back into standby mode. I have no clue how long the episode is. So the episode is around 15 minutes. Because I have a timer on the side, since I'm cutting the recording into multiple pieces in order to skip forward. Or for you guys to skip forward. Was I'm babbling around and thinking about how to solve problems. And not like right now. So what are we going to do right now? Orbital rescue. I guess. Yes. I guess, yes, it's going to be an orbital rescue mission. There you go. But before we're going to do that, before we're going to do a quick rescue, I do want to upgrade this vehicle here. So here you can see it in the VA bay. We have no more spare tonnage to upgrade the vehicle. I haven't even really paid attention to the mass too much. I just knew that 4 of those kickbacks are too many, or is too heavy. But actually we are barely within our tonnage limits. Oh boy, oh boy. Obviously I can remove the ablator, which is just a tiny bit. 20 kilos. That's obviously going to make a huge difference. No, that's not going to make any difference whatsoever. I think we've actually... I think this is actually rather large. Oh! Oh! Here comes an alarm clock. There we go. Brilliant. Thank you. It was telling me to go and do something else. Okay. Actually, I do want to keep recording right now because this is one of those things that makes JNSQ so much harder. Not just everything is bigger, so you need bigger rockets, but this also constrains you to not launching ludicrous payloads, because you're just gonna scale up the rocket until into infinity, more or less, until you have like 1,000-part lifter stage or something like this. Because then you run into this problem here a lot faster in JNSQ, especially in career mode. That's why we're also playing career mode, because of these constraints here, the tonnage constraint. Is there any way to make the space station smaller? I can use, instead of a re-entry module, which is 1.5 tons, I can go with a second crew cabin, which is obviously, well, not obviously, which is a bit less tons. Okay, and it's not going to change really a lot in terms of the space station being useful, or the lack thereof. There we go. You're gonna move your insert in order to not move the fairing, so that you're not sticking out the fairing. Okay, great, we've saved 500, half a ton. I think the rescue mission is gonna be next episode, because right now we're at 18 minutes. Actually, I'm really debating whether to build this now on screen or not, because I don't have a solution just yet. Let's actually go and do. No, that's not gonna work. My idea was to leave it at this as is. Go and do the rescue mission and tell you guys to tell me how to improve the vehicle for next time. But next time is gonna be tomorrow for me to record. No, not tomorrow. The day after tomorrow. We're recording the next episode. Like I said, I do want to have a couple of episodes, more precise 3 episodes ready to go within this week, so that's not gonna help a lot. So what do we need? We need more liquid fuel in order to do everything. Like, this stage here is, honestly speaking, quite good, quite versatile, 2,000 meters per second. Adding another booster is not gonna work. We need to shed weight. But where can we shed some more weight? I've already drained the monoprop, and that would be nothing noteworthy to begin with. Shedding weight, the biggest weight are the kickback boosters, 24 tons each, which is 50 tons. Which is just under 1/3 of the entire contraption. So 1/3 are the boosters, just these 2 boosters. but they provide so much thrust and they are very good in terms of actually performance wise. They have absolutely horrendous ISP. I could of course take the boosters off and make liquid fuel boosters. Would make them more versatile, but would that squeeze out enough additional performance? Oh boy. Would this squeeze out more performance? Because we need more performance. We need a lot more performance. We need actually up until this stage separation here. Like this wait, no. This section that we have here on the side needs to gain another 2000 meters per second. Or at least 1,500 additional meters per second. Without adding anything in terms of weight. And dropping the fins is not going to change it by any significant amount. We could drop engines. The engines are a ton, not even 1 ton each. Out of 140 tons, that's not a big difference. So let's have a look. Actually, wait. I want to have the total delta V readout for sea level 4,400. So let's go as our goal at 5,800-ish. 5,800-ish. Okay. Off we go, building this one live, I guess, because I don't really feel like doing the rescue mission right now, since I have to do something else now or later. And doing a rescue mission is going to take longer than building a new rocket here. So this is a bit, yeah, a bit personal reason here, but whatever. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. Should we do, and we need another engine. We're going to go with a reliant heavy lifter engine. That's probably still not going to be actually barely enough fuel, barely enough thrust weight ratio. The Bobcat is by far our best engine, so I'm gonna leave it as the center one. I might actually go again back to the Thud engine. It provides more thrust and better ISP. However, it is more massive. I don't really want to use this one, honestly speaking, as this lifter engine, or for the lifter. Whilst we're at it, let's actually just, is it going to be enough thrust if we just upgrade one of them? Yeah, that would look totally, that would look ugly. I don't like ugly looking rockets, despite generally speaking. I already think this addition of the Thud engine here instead of the Valiant is already a visual downgrade. Okay, what we do, so we need even more fuel. God darn it, bloody hell, even more fuel. Give me some fuel ducts. You guys are gonna feed into the central core. That's already a given, I assume. There we go. Is that gonna change a lot? Yes, we squeezed out another 300 meters per second of performance. How much? Well, we do have more. I want to know the thrust to weight ratio because that's our next biggest constraint. If I remove you, okay, obviously that's gonna get rid of the fuel duct, which is a shame. There we go. This gives us less fuel, I am aware. Thank you. Because yes, I deleted the fuel duct. So let's attach the fuel duct to a lower fuel tank where I'm not going to change anything. And I have to zoom in, which is something I totally hate finicking around here. So you, and attach there. Thank you. Okay, there we go. We need still 1,000 meters per second, and I feel like I haven't done anything. And we still need this one to have a look at the delta, at the thrust weight read. And what if we just go and be like really dumb? This is gonna be overboard, yes, I am aware of this. But if we now make this stack shorter, this is still going to be too much, huh? Obviously we're gonna remove these ones as well, and less struts. And if we now were to remove your fuel tanks with your engines with just this, and give you, and you be the first to drop. Okay, we are within reach, and we have enough, or at least the amount more thrust. Okay, now let's work on the staging. You're the first to stage. Wait, weren't we just earlier, a second earlier, above 5,000? I said 5,600 is what we need. Where did I make a mistake in terms of staging? First, you guys stage. Everything is burning at the same time. You guys detach. Separately, you're not constrained by the... Yes, you're feeding in, that's good. You are not constrained by the asparagus staging, otherwise... Because after we stage these ones, you are being... Okay, this double stack is being drained by the Bobcat and these 4 sideway engines. While this stack is drained by the Bobcat and the Reliant down here. Okay, which is good, this is exactly what I want it to do, but I need more performance.
Even more performance.
That sounded probably pretty terrible on video or audio track here. I have absolutely no bloody idea how to squeeze out more performance. I have already reduced the weight of this craft by as much as we possibly could. Obviously I could drain the fuel here, getting the performance to a more reasonable amount, well, barely acceptable amount, but I do want to have this as my payload. This is including the payload. Monopropellant is down, yes, that wouldn't even make that much of a difference. Maybe lighter engines. Like lighter engines as in... you're gonna ditch last. So let's say we're gonna remove you. Don't even have enough performance right now, okay. Gonna move you over there. So you provide more thrust as far as I'm aware. Still not enough to even lift you off the ground. Wow. I think we have hit a brick wall. Since this payload seems to be too large to be lifted, despite it only weighing 5 tons. Oh boy, we can't even lift 5 tons. Oh god, this is pathetic. But I still think it was an entertaining video at least. Despite not really achieving anything like solid, this was a funny video. So my goal is in real life for the next 24 hours coming up with a solution for this problem. And for you guys, enjoying your day. Thanks for watching and until next time, Spaceship signing out.